Yes, Dr. Noah's days.
Methuselah, 969 years old, is the
As in the days of Noah, so it shall be on Judgment Day.
Right.
We've just given on this radio program the formula to live as long as Methuselah. As in the days of Noah, so it shall be on Judgment Day.
Dr. Mount?
Yes.
Dr. Mount, this is Tom from Resurrect the Republic. I just had a question for you about the Sasha Fall. You know much about Sasha Fall? Or are you familiar?
Sorcerfyal. Yeah, I traced Sorcerfyal to 6 different abbeys. I don't know if it's a guy named working for the CIA. I don't know if it's real. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
What are your thoughts on Madame Blavatsky?
Madame Blavatsky was a person who was possessed and wrote a lot about what Lucifer's trying to do to this planet. And the plan is to eliminate religion, create total anarchy and nuclear war, and then bring the Temple of Lucifer into existence at the Temple Mount in the year 2032. Now, the actual Muslim temple does not line up with the Old Testament. The North Temple Mount is actually where David was. So Lucifer intends to set up a tent over the North Temple Mount in the year 2032 and declare Lucifer as God of this planet. Ayadabawa.
So you're familiar with the Lucis Trust?
I am extremely familiar with the Lucis Trust, and there is no one who's devoted totally to God who is in the inner circle. And I have helped them a lot because Operations Order 1-1, Op Order. What is the enemy situation? Operation 1-2. What is the friendly situation? You cannot conduct a battle plan without knowing the enemy situation.
Very good position.
And I joined the Lucis Trust, and I joined the Theosophical Society, and I am an acolyte in the Theosophical Society to report to the public what their true activities are, and let the public decide whether or not they want the nuclear war and the destruction of 6.5 billion people. Now that is the public's decision.
I'm very glad that I was correct in assuming that you were working with the Lucis Trusts.
Absolutely.
That's what I really wanted to confirm, which I wanted to share with my Christian friends, that there are some of us who feel rather uncomfortable with a non-governmental United Nations inspired and backed organization and
telling us what to do and how to kill ourselves.
Yeah, but that's the organization that the Lucis Trust is linked to. It's linked to
Correct.
A non-governmental organization through the United Nations.
It is the teaching element. It is the Lucifer Trust. It was created in 1922 under Madame Blavatsky, who
I'm very well aware of what it is, sir. That's why I called you.
And they run the United Nations, and they teach the demon-possessed ambassadors, because let me tell you, if I get near a general, or if I get near another ambassador or president, they run for me. Bill Gates and his 3 little boy handlers, and I say that exactly the way I mean it, ran for me when they looked at me in the eyes. I am with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and I will go where he sends me. And if he puts me in the enemy camp and I am a true and honest reporter for the enemy, I will tell the truth about what Lucifer is doing, and I go where God sends me, and I do what he tells me to do. And I will be as respectful towards Lucifer as he wants me to be.
'77 in Seattle. People asked me why Walmarts are closing. The answer is simple. When I took an Army logistics class, the U.S. Army developed the logistics system for Walmart. Walmarts were strategically set up around the world to act as military distribution bases. So if we have problems in Yemen, the Special Forces takes over the Walmart in Yemen. you can order a helicopter and nuclear weapons on the Walmart logistics system. There's a back door into it, they taught me that. If you are going to have Operation JADE HELM throughout the Southwest, you seize a Walmart. You can order things such as M16 rounds. You can order an M16 through the Walmart program. So they walk into a Walmart, fire 2,200 people in California, you're all laid off, go away, no unemployment, get out of here. Because the military then takes over their base. The specific logistics program I was trained on in California is the same program they use at Walmart. The Walmarts are federal military posts. How many Walmarts they have, they get extra money from the government. And when the government takes over, they get a fortune from the government. Have a very wonderful day, and I hope I didn't burst your bubble, but we're here.
Perhaps the most prominent UN figurehead with regards to spiritual unification of the world is this man, Robert Mueller. He died in 2010, but was Under-Secretary General of the UN for 40 years, and he is revered within the UN as the philosopher or prophet of hope of the United Nations. His spiritual viewpoints were quite clear. He said, "We must move as quickly as possible to a one-world government, a one-world religion, under a one-world leader." He believed that peace for this one-world order rested primarily on religion, saying, "Peace will be impossible without the taming of fundamentalism through a united religion that professes faithfulness only to the global spirituality and to the health of this planet." He also said, "My great personal dream is to get a tremendous alliance between all the major religions and the UN." Because he held one of the top jobs in the UN for 40 years, he obviously had huge influence on the goals of the organisation, but the problem goes much further than that, because as well as being the driving force behind the spirituality of the UN, he also created something called the World Core Curriculum, which, as the name suggests, is intended to be an education program or framework for the entire world. He is therefore also known throughout the world as the father of global education. Not only this, but he actually established specialist Robert Muller schools, where his educational ideas could be taught in their purest form. There are over 30 in existence, and more are being established each year. The World Core Curriculum earned him the UNESCO Peace Education Prize in 1989. Now, since UNESCO is just an NGO of the UN, that seems a little meaningless to give yourself an award, but anyway, following the plaudits he received from within the UN, he also drew up a framework for world media coverage, as well as a framework for planetary and cosmic consciousness, and a framework for arts and culture. Basically, these are plans for how they might dominate the information flows to influence the mindsets of the world. My focus is the World Core Curriculum because the idea was that the UN issues this document to the nations, who then use it as the framework for their own regional school curriculums. By this method, all the schools around the world would start teaching their kids the same ideas about life. The coming generations would then have the same worldview and the same attitudes for the New World Order. Robert Muller said of it that we must steer our children toward global citizenship, earth-centered beliefs, socialist values, and the collective mindset which is becoming a requirement for the 21st century workforce. He went on to say, a World Core Curriculum might seem utopian today. By the end of the year 2000, it will be a down-to-earth daily reality in all the schools of the world. The occultists don't really care how long it takes to reach their goal. They don't care if their dreams don't materialize in their lifetime. They simply see themselves as cogs of a machine, or like Helena Blavatsky said, links in a chain that will lead to an ultimate end. The Dalai Lama said, the United Nations becomes for us the answer to world suffering, world darkness, and world ignorance. The inner vision of the United Nations is the gift supreme. This vision the world can deny for 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 years. In other words, we can resist for as long as we like, but it will not stop until it realizes its aim. It may take 10 years, it may take 100 years. The United Nations will keep working towards our enslavement and the establishment of a new world order where the Antichrist can return.
I hope I didn't burst your bubble, but we're here.